a lot of media agency people, a lot of brands, a lot of people trying to figure out mobile.
Oh, yes.
And obviously it's a huge medium. How does mobile fit into the overall campaign planning and execution?
Yeah, excellent question. And certainly where mobile has stood within campaign planning continues to change. Most currently, really, people think about mobile first, and that was really a rallying cry that we bring mobile to the forefront. But the reality is, I really think that it is now mobile throughout. And the reality is consumers today are using their mobile devices throughout their consumer journey. And they're going to be using it for different purposes throughout that journey. They might be using it informationally. They might be using it to watch content, which is more brand building. And then obviously they may very well be using it for purchase or conversion. And we really need to shift from just mobile first to actually what I call mobile throughout. And that we're thinking about mobile along the entire journey.
Cool. And what kind of campaigns do you think are working that you're kind of jazzed about, or some best use cases of mobile advertising that you're keen about?
Well, actually, what I'd love to focus on in terms of the question is, I think we actually need to continue to shift away from thinking about it as advertising, because actually I think that hurts the mobile device. When people say advertising, they sort of think of those set formats, right? A 30-second commercial, etc. And then they start to think about all the things that are difficult about the mobile device, versus changing and just thinking about it more as messaging. And then you start by what are all the positives of mobile. The fact is a very near in and personal screen, right? The fact that you can easily and seamlessly connect to commerce. So I think candidly the best uses are where marketers are embracing mobile more for messaging rather than advertising, and then using it in different ways.
Cool. A lot of talk about AR, VR.
Yes.
Could you explain what the promises of artificial intelligence is for advertising?
Well,
because there's a lot that it's thrown around a lot. And what does it mean to you, or what could it mean to the industry?
Right. So if I think about artificial intelligence, couple things. First, we're obviously only at the tip of the iceberg. Second, artificial intelligence is a big word, like big data, right? So it's going to clearly mean a lot of different things to many people. And the reality is there are different components of artificial intelligence. So first, we're going to need to understand that as marketers. We're also going to need to understand there's different quality of artificial intelligence, and that's going to be a new way to benchmark what are successful programs or not successful programs. But it really is going to have an impact. I mean, candidly, so many marketers today are already using artificial intelligence in their products or in how they do their customer service, and there's a natural extension into marketing. What really is the challenge right now is to figure out how that works best given your product. One way to think about it is this real shift of search to being more audio-based search, right? When you think about the personal assistants, we're no longer typing in desired, results or information, but we're actually, as consumers, speaking them. And what is the change that speaking it means in terms of how we communicate with our customers?
And finally, about 3,000 miles from here, this spring will be the TV upfronts. You can't wait. I didn't even want to focus on that. We're here in Barcelona, but briefly, give us your thoughts on how that marketplace may be changing and sort of the various elements that are going into TV planning and consideration.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, something that's core is it really needs to continue to be video planning, right? And then actually video buying as well. There's no end to how consumers are shifting their viewing across their platforms. And now, as you know, they can actually be watching a single program and start it on one device and shift to another device. So that perspective, we need to continue both in the planning and the buying to understand how fluid consumers are with that. And then what really needs to happen, and it's beginning to, but we need to have the right measurement that actually shows how we can follow those consumers, understand who they are across the devices, and then get more personal with them.